Okay, time for the Week 8 picks. Let's see if we can't make a little money. Tough week last week, 1-2 on the 3 bets. That puts us at 12-11 on the season. Just one game over 500, so no doubt about it, nothing spectacular there. Now we're just approaching mid-season, so hopefully we can pick up some momentum now starting this week. 3 games I like this week. Want to start in the AFC South, where the Indianapolis Colts are visiting the Tennessee Titans. Colts are better than a lot of people thought they were going to be this year. They're 3-3 right now, second all by themselves in the AFC South. But I think they're in a tough spot here going on the road to play Tennessee. Tennessee currently installed as a 3.5-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ, 46.5 the total. You know, the Titans, if they can win this game, they are officially back from the dead. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, they looked like the worst team in the NFL at 1-4. Interesting thing about Tennessee, they've won their 3 games by a combined 7 points. They've lost their 4 games by a combined 96 points. So this team gets blown out a lot. That's because of their terrible defense. But I don't think they're going to get blown out on Sunday. They've won 2 games in a row. An emotional road win against Buffalo, close, sort of a crazy back-and-forth game. And in hearing all the Titans players and coaches talk this week, you really feel like that win has energized this whole team. I mean, they're at home against a division rival who they should beat, 3.5-point favorites here again, and they have the opportunity to get back to 4-4. I mean, if you're a Tennessee Titans player, I mean, that sounds, a couple of weeks ago, that would have sounded fantastic. It would have sounded unbelievable. So I think this is going to be a very, very motivated Tennessee Titans team. Indianapolis has really struggled on the road this year. They've been blown out in both of their road games. They can't stop the run, and Chris Johnson, who seems to be in about a 2-year slump, he broke out of that slump last week, had a big game against Buffalo. He'll be facing a similarly weak run defense this week with the Indianapolis Colts. So I think Chris Johnson's going to get it going. I like Matt Hasselbeck. I think the Titans are now playing the right man at quarterback. So even though I look for the Colts offense to have some success in this game against that bad Tennessee defense, I think Tennessee is going to outscore the Colts, and I do like them minus 3.5 in this game. Next game I want to go to, the NFC East Philadelphia Eagles. Well, I guess it's a NFC East versus NFC South game. Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, of course, are the last remaining undefeated team in the league at 6-0. Both these teams are coming off bye weeks. Philadelphia, it's desperation time for this team. They're 3-3. They fired their defensive coordinator, Juan Castillo, in the bye week. This will be Todd Bowles' first game as defensive coordinator. But really, it's been the offense has been the big problem for Philadelphia, 30th in the league right now in points scored. They've had no problem with yards. They've been going up and down the field in most of their games. They just haven't been able to convert those into points. Big turnover problems. Playing at home this week, they need the game badly. They're 1-point favorites on BETDAQ right now over the undefeated Falcons. 43.5 the total in this game. Andy Reid's Philadelphia Eagles are a perfect 13-0 in Reid's stint after bye weeks, the week after a bye week. And again, they did have a bye last week. They're 11-2 against the number in those 13 games. I do like Philadelphia to cover this week. I realize the Eagles have been a bad team to back this year, just 1-4-1 against the number. And I know it's dangerous betting on a team like that, a team that, who knows, they could be unraveling. I mean, you look at this and you say, well, their backs are against the wall, they're going to come out fighting. Maybe, or maybe their season is just sinking down the tubes, and maybe they're going to lose this game and lose the next game and just turn into a 5-11, 6-10 type team. But I'm not ready to say that just yet about these Philadelphia Eagles. I do believe they're going to show some fight and play a good game on Sunday. And the Falcons, even though they're 6-0, who have they beat? Yet to beat a team with a winning record. In their last 3 games, they've struggled in all 3 of those games, and 2 out of those 3 games, the Carolina game and the Oakland game. I mean, Carolina and Oakland, they are 2 terrible, terrible teams. So the Falcons been, definitely been some cracks in the armor, some chinks in the armor here recently. I like Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia at home, -1 against Atlanta. I think they're going to pull out a good home victory. Last game is an NFC East showdown. 2 NFC East teams, Dallas Cowboys hosting the New York Giants. New York currently installed as a 1-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ, 47.5 the total. And I'm betting on the Cowboys. The Cowboys, much like the Eagles, a 3-3 team that has been very inconsistent this year. But I feel like they might have saved their season last week. They were playing a bad Carolina team on the road, but Dallas didn't really play well, especially on offense. And it's a type of game that they've lost this year. Really over the last couple of years, they've lost a lot of games like that. They were able to pull out a win to get to 3-3. And I just have a feeling that that win is going to spur this team to some better play. I mean, Dallas has been playing well on defense. 4th in the league right now in total defense, third in pass defense. That's a big turnaround from last year's team where they were so bad in the secondary. Their offseason additions, cornerback Brandon Carr and cornerback Morris Claiborne, that has really paid immediate dividends. Of course, the Giants pass the ball as well as any team in the league. We've seen Eli Manning and these great wide receivers do it time and again over about the last 12 or 15 games they've played. Dallas did beat the New York Giants in Week 1. I don't put much stock in that. Both teams, I think, were feeling each other out. It was the first game of the NFL season. It was a weird game. The first half of that game especially was weird and sort of ugly. But, Dallas, they've been playing well on defense, and even though they haven't got that offense going yet, they've only scored 20 or more points twice this season. They've had a lot of success against the New York Giants in recent history. Over the last couple of years. And these two teams, even though there are some changes in personnel, largely the same core players on these two teams. They play each other twice a year, so they're intimately familiar with each other's personnel. And Dallas, 6 out of their last 7 games against the Giants have scored 24 or more points. So if you're looking for a spot for that Dallas offense to sort of wake up and get it revved up, I think this weekend would be a good spot. They've had great success against the Giants. They're coming home. Now, full disclosure, in fairness, Dallas has not been good at home recently, 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 home games. However, I still like Dallas more at home than I would on the road in this spot. So even though they haven't played well at home recently, I still don't think that's a disadvantage by any means. And even though the Giants have been playing really well, they've won their last 3, they're 5-2 right now. I watched that game last week against Washington, and I didn't like what I saw out of that New York Giants defense. We know the Giants defense in the past, they can be good and they can be not so good. They can be good when they want to be. They seem like a defense that can turn it on and off. They certainly had it switched off last week against Washington. It just didn't look like they were putting forth full effort at all times. And the Giants, not saying they don't want this game. Obviously, they want to beat the Cowboys on the road. But I just feel like the Cowboys are going to be a little bit more motivated here, like what they've been doing on defense a lot more than the New York Giants. And I think the Cowboys are going to be able to pull out a home win. So there you have it. Those are my 3 games on Sunday. I do like the Tennessee Titans -3.5 against the Indianapolis Colts. I like Philadelphia -1 against the Atlanta Falcons. And I like the Dallas Cowboys +1 against the New York Giants. There you have it, folks. That's the best I got for you. I wish you best of luck in whatever you decide to do on Sunday, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests.